Alright, I figured I'd start first off by thanking, all of you for actually, liking that one video. I expect that, you might be pressing the button a little more often and not just on the one video, but I also want to give a huge thanks as well to the people who actually donated when I went ahead and put up the link. I went and checked my email the morning after I got back from classes, and it turns out that someone actually donated the full amount in one shot, which, doesn't really seem like that much, but when you have to make $20 stretch over like 3 weeks, it's a little bit difficult, and you can kind of see where I would imagine that to be, a decent amount of money. So to the 3 people that did donate, I sincerely thank you, and, I left the edit in the last description that you should go look at. And for now, I do have one more Gen 4 match. I'm not going to have any Gen 5 matches until I get that straightened out. But this one happened at the stream. I know the name of the person that wrote in the chat room, but I don't know if they have a YouTube. So if you do have a YouTube, just go ahead and PM me, say, hey, this was me or whatever. And that'll work. So let's just go ahead and get it started right about now. Okay, so as you can see by the thumbnail, since it's a stream, I don't really use the same team often, so I'll switch it up between my just my standard teams. And I decided to use my Metal Gear Solid team with this one once again, just to have some fun. So I go for Detect, predicting the fake out. I'm not sure if that's what actually happened. I was looking at a different spot on my desktop, but whatever happens is I do get the free speed boost. I am able to outspeed. It doesn't have Ice Shard, I guess. And I guess it expects me to detect again to try to get some more speed boosts. But because it is lead Weavile, it has a sash, so it's whatever. Switches into Scizor to take the Air Slash. Doesn't really take it that well. And I do have the HP Fire, so that's what I went for, and I guess they were scouting for it. I don't know. I haven't really seen Lead Yanmega in a really long time. I've seen Lead Yanma in NU, that's like the bane of my fucking existence, but in OU you don't really see Lead Yanmega too often. You usually see like Azelf, you'll see Aerodactyl, mainly Azelf and Jirachi, so these things are a little bit unheard of. I figure this is a special defensive wall, but I do have a sash that I haven't ruined yet, and if they do set up rocks later, I don't want to have to come in and take half damage, so while I'm a lead, I'm going to go ahead and do what leads do, and that is fight until you die pretty much. And I sped up this portion because all it really is me flinch axing a special defensive wall to death, which is actually kind of cool. So I got 2 flinches in a row and I took it out. And goes into Lucario to potentially, I guess, bait a switch. I'm not entirely sure what the motive was for that. Either case, just to not over-predict or whatever, I go for the HP Fire. They go to Weavile as fodder, which is okay. And they go to Scizor to go for the... Why do I say Scizor? Scizor. There we go. That's how I normally say it. Anyways, they go to Scizor, try to go for the, I guess, Choice Banded Bullet Punch. Doesn't actually do that much because Yanmega's defense is actually decent. It's not pitiful like Absol or Gengar or Alakazam. It can take a hit. So, I do take the hit. I go for the Air Slash. I know it's not going to flinch, but because I'm a lead, and like I said, if they do get rock set up, Air Slash is the best move I have because Bug Buzz and HP Fire are both 0.5 effective. So it's not about me trying to flinch axe, it's about me trying to get, the most use out of Yanmega I can before it dies. I bring in Electivire, and I know I'm going to be a little bit obvious with the Ice Punch, but I don't want to over-predict because, this team can get kind of fragile. And now that I see that Dragonite and the Gliscor, I need Electivire to stay alive, but I take the gamble that this Gliscor isn't Jolly, and it does happen to be Jolly, and it does take me out, which is a bitch, because Ice Punch could tear through 2/3 of this team, no problem at all. But because that's not the case, and thankfully they don't have rock set up, so my Typhlosion is free to drop a full power Eruption, which I'm thinking will take out a Gliscor, no problem, especially if it's the offensive variant, but it does take it. So, I'm in a little bit of a tight spot here. I lose Typhlosion. Well, at least that's what I think. I really didn't want to spoil it, but I live at 12, and because there aren't rocks set up, I figure I can use it as switch fodder or something else later. So I go ahead and get out. And I just go to Breloom to potentially take the next Earthquake. I don't know. And they go to Dragonite. And because I came in mid-turn, and I didn't come in on like a safe switch. I did get my Toxic Orb activated, and I figure I'm just gonna go for the Spore, because, you know, it's whatever. And this Spore actually turns out to be really useful. I'm glad I put this thing to sleep, as you'll see in a little bit. Anyway, goes to Dragonite. I figure I'm just gonna do what Breloom's do and go ahead and sub, and naturally I'm not gonna go for Seed Bomb, so I'm gonna go for Focus Punch, knowing it's gonna be like a 3 or 4 hit KO. And I have a sub up, so there's no way I'm even gonna consider switching at all. I think I still do have my Dusknoir, so even if that were the case, I'm not really going to be too scared of this Dragonite, to be completely honest, even if it does happen to get another DD up, I guess. And it decides to just get one DD, goes for the Fire Punch. I know it's going to break the sub. At this point, it will kill me, but I'm just going to go for another Focus Punch. And if they decide they want to get greedy on this turn, go for another Dragon Dance, I'm going to go for a Focus Punch again. And we'll just go from there. But they do go for the Fire Punch and take me out, which is okay. I'm not really concerned about it because, as I said, they didn't go for the Dragon Dance instead, which is great. And I go into my Typhlosion here fully knowing I can outspeed an Adamant. Actually, I outspeed any variant of Dragonite that's +1. So I just go ahead and do that, and this thing's asleep, so I'm just going to go for another Flamethrower. And you know what it's looking like right now. It's looking like another Typhlosion sweep. Well, the opponent was asleep, but sweep. Anyways, not to disappoint, I'm going to go ahead and give you what you're expecting, because this Gliscor is at low health, and I actually am able to clean out the rest of the team with another Blaze Boosted Typhlosion. It wasn't really, you know, that much of an uphill struggle as my first one was, but it still is nice to see Typhlosion clean house, and it was actually a really cool thing to see once again. You didn't really see Dusknoir or Espeon in this match, to be honest. I didn't really quite need them because I did pull a little bit of unfairness with the Yanmega versus Tentacruel, but as you see, I did have an Espeon, so I wasn't really too concerned with Tentacruel in the first place. And Dusknoir could have sponged a couple physical hits, you know. The match could have been a little bit longer than it was. But still fun overall. I did notice that there is a bit of a fire and ice weakness on your team, and I guess I tried to exploit it, but I didn't. And that's the game. I'm probably going to narrate 2 or so more today. That way, you know, I'm prepared for next week. And I'll order the ace card as soon as I can, and as soon as that comes in, we'll get some black and white going, shall we? Alright, stay tuned.